Barring a miracle, this is going to be honestly, it's a shocking loss for here's Commander Faithful.
There are no olives here. Bring out the olives.
I don't know the exact moment the NFL told every NFL team to let their social media accounts do whatever the hell they want, but I am happy they did. I watched that too many times. Too many times. Warning, look away, Bears fans. Look away. Watching Caleb Williams watch the Hail Mary is like watching a groom realize his bride left him at the altar on the day they were to be married. When this is your only touchdown and you win, it might be a new worst game ever for the team you just defeated. The Bears took the lead and converted a 2-point conversion with 23 seconds left. All they had to do was not give up a miraculous touchdown with 23 seconds left. The thing about miracles, though, is you can't stop them.
Barring a miracle.
It comes from a higher power. Regardless, losing with 23 seconds left after getting your own miracle is such an embarrassment to the number 23. Michael Jordan has asked the Bulls to unretire 23 and switch it to 45 if possible.
I took offense to that.
Bears versus Commanders was supposed to be the game of the week. We had the red-hot Jayden Daniels ready to take on the red-hot Caleb Williams, the battle between the number 1 and number 2 overall picks. Savior versus Savior. It was like Jesus fighting Jesus, but the one who rose from the dead after. Instead, we got Jayden Daniels playing through a rib cartilage injury and Caleb Williams doing nothing for almost 3 full quarters because he had to play good defense for the first time in a month. For better or worse, I usually recap the Broncos games on Sunday night, and I'll touch on the Broncos as well in this episode with the rookie quarterback parallels we have right now, the holy trinity of Nix, Williams, and Daniels. No offense to Drake May, he was concussed and has been relegated to the rookie quarterback purgatory via the gate to hell, the blue medical tent. So today, we learn that a truly atrocious football game, one where the score was a disgusting 12-0 with 53 seconds left in the third quarter, can shoot to the top of the highlight reels with an insane ending. It's like really bad and long dry humping, but the guy eventually finishes, so he feels pretty good after. Sorry, Chicago, you got dry humped on in the new whatever worst game ever.
Bring out the olives.
Not for the Commanders. Regardless of where your loyalty lies, I've got you covered at benchwarmershop.com. Either one of these bad boys are available there. His nails are pink. Also, show some love to my wife, Jess, who dropped a new YouTube video today. That is linked below. It's about what it's like being married to an insane football fan. Gee, I wonder who the subject of that video is.
Bring out the olives.
I've got a twist here for you now. Watching Caleb Williams watch the Hail Mary, but with PFT's audio cut in from their live stream, is like watching a groom realize his wife left him at the altar because she'd been fucking his best friend. And in fact, she was probably doing it that very morning. Now, I admire Jayden Daniels' toughness. Rib injuries are incredibly painful.
Even with the ribs.
I've refused to move off my couch for several hours after simply eating too many ribs. The Commanders had a chance to score in the first, but Luke McCaffrey couldn't come down with the ball inbounds. If he did score, he would have been fined by the NFL anyway because it's not allowed until his brother Christian returns to the field healthy. And that's per their dad, Ed. Meanwhile, despite a costly fumble in the Broncos game on the opening series by Lil Hump that opened the door for a touchdown drive for the Panthers to take an early 7-0 lead, my savior, Bo Nix erased that nonsense by throwing not just one but 2 touchdowns against the Panthers, both to slow tight ends who had their 40 times measured by sundials at their pro days. Only the Panthers defense could make those men look like the second coming of Gronk. All 3 quarterbacks, though, were playing in the same window, but only 2 were delivering. The story in the first half of the Washington game was the Commanders not being able to finish drives. Jayden, at just 70%, was outdoing Caleb Williams, whose issue was not being able to start drives. A drop pass by Austin Eckler led to the Commanders' second field goal. They also had a touchdown negated by a bullshit penalty. On 4th and 1, the Bears can't convert. You can take the man out of Carolina, but you can't take the Carolina Panthers out of the man. That was DJ Moore getting stuffed there on the quick screen. He finished the day with 2 receptions for 27 yards, which would have had him as the 5th leading receiver if he was still playing for the Panthers. Gross. And some of their receivers in the Panthers game straight up refused to even catch the football. My point? Washington should have been blowing out the Bears. The Bears should have never had a chance at the end of this game. A nice defensive play stopped Zach Ertz from finishing this catch in the end zone.
3 field goals shorter than an extra point.
Meanwhile, Bo Nix was rushing for a touchdown, leaping over the line like
Roller coaster!
Nix also nailed down his first 3 touchdown passing game of his career, becoming the most winning Broncos rookie QB ever in his first season in a 28-14 cakewalk. Denver controlled the entire game, and while it was a cakewalk, it was never a dog walking of the Panthers. And I'm trying to take it easy on Carolina since it looks like they're going to be down bad for a while, for like a long time. Mainly for gifting the Bears, Caleb Williams. Now, we were checking in on the Bears game during my live stream, only to see Caleb Williams escape a sack just so he can be sacked even harder. 9 points by halftime total in this game, all by the Commanders. They had their center firing off snaps when Jayden Daniels wasn't ready. Caleb Williams was off target, and again, Washington was settling for field goals in the biggest letdown of the week in terms of a game that was supposed to be fun and exhilarating. It wasn't until there was 50 seconds left in the third quarter that DeAndre Swift finally broke free and prevented the Bears from being shut out and thoroughly embarrassed. 56 yards for Swift on the sprint and some life injected into Chicago, who started to look like the bear that terrorized Leo DiCaprio for 3.5 hours versus Carmi from the Bear.
Guys, I can't do this! Stop! I can't do this!
Now, despite Caleb Williams having less than 100 passing yards at this point, despite Doug Kramer fumbling the ball away on the goal line, and the biggest fuck-up we've seen by a Kramer since, well, you remember what Kramer did. Despite punting 7 times and converting 0 third downs at this point, the Bears had a chance trailing 12-7 with 4 minutes left in the game because of a overthrow by Jayden Daniels and a clutch blocked field goal by the Bears special teams front. Conversely, the Broncos dominated their foe so efficiently, they were experimenting. Experimenting with trick plays in the fourth quarter for no reason at all, and fumbling for fun or sympathy. One that was definitely over early in the third quarter, but the Panthers never made it interesting. Carolina players were talking shit to Sean Payton after the game for trying to run up the score, and I don't care or blame them. I'm content. I'm how Bears fans felt a week ago. All the attention has been on Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams in terms of the rookie quarterbacks, but Bo Nix has quietly dethroned them in the month of October. He's first in passing TDs, touchdown to interception ratio, passing yard, all this bullshit. He's number 1 now. At least throw him an attaboy. That's all I ask, okay? I know it was just the Panthers, but he played as well as Jayden probably would have if he stayed healthy in the game a week ago or comparable. We're supposed to beat the bad teams, and the Broncos are finally doing it. It's fucking awesome. It feels good. Now 4 minutes to go, and the Bears awoke from hibernation via a fat line of coca, becoming the Cocaine Bears. The only third downs they converted all night came on this final drive. Technically, the Bears didn't convert a 4th down either, but Benjamin St. Just, the patron saint of steroids, got dinged for pass interference in the end zone. And this was the moment Commanders team owner Josh Harris learned the way you can lose in the NFL hurts quite a bit more than the way you lose in the NBA. Chicago easily rushed it in behind the strong, churning legs of Roschon Johnson. No gimme, considering that's exactly where they fumbled earlier. 59 and a half minutes without a lead, and Chicago gets it with 23 seconds left on the clock.
It became personal with me.
And then they convert the 2-point play, which was huge because the worst that could happen is the Commanders tie it up with the field goal, right? The Commanders only had one timeout and just 20 seconds left after the return. Jayden Daniels bounces the ball off the ground on his first passing attempt. The worst that can happen is they get into field goal range and tie it, right? Jayden scrambles, throws it for 12 yards, and Washington has to burn their final timeout. The worst that could happen is nothing. Game is over. They're out of field goal range, and they're sort of out of Hail Mary range. They haven't scored a touchdown all night. This final throw is a formality, right? Wrong. Jayden Daniels and Scary Terry played a little bit of 4D chess right here. With nobody up on him, McLaurin runs an out route, gets another 12 yards to make the final Hail Mary attempt manageable, but that's still a formality, right? No, wrong again. The problem with Cocaine Bear is that with the height of every high, the pinnacle of bliss, well, that's followed by a brutal crash back down to reality, and with 5 seconds in the game, Jayden Daniels dances his magic dance in the backfield, buying as much time as he needs.
You're the one thing.
And he chucks it deep, and Noah Brown catches the walk-off touchdown after it bounces off the scrum.
Yes!
When did Big Cat know that the game was over?
The second that he got that second part of it, I knew we were fucked.
When Jayden had extended the play. Bears fans knew it was over before it was even over.
This town is going crazy.
I've been down that bad too, Chicago. I now pronounce the Commanders the kings of the Hail Mary. Sorry, remove your crown, Aaron Rodgers. I watched as the Denver Broncos completed a Hail Mary against the Commanders last season, and Washington still won. Whenever a Hail Mary happens in a game, the Commanders still find a way to fucking win. The Bears were euthanized in horrific fashion, and Jayden Daniels emerged as Russell Crowe. I mean, master and commander, reminding us all.
Men must be governed. Often not wisely, I will grant you, but they must be governed nonetheless.
In Washington, nonetheless. Damn, that's a good movie reference. Wait, I started this whole episode by saying this was a battle of Jesus versus Jesus, right? Savior versus Savior. I've got too many comparisons going. But in the battle of Jesus versus Jesus, Jayden Daniels emerged as the one true Jesus. Like Jesus with his 5 holy wounds, the 5th being a spear wound to his ribs. Jayden played through his rib injury to complete the holiest of all plays in all sports, the Hail Mary, bringing the Commanders back from the dead for the game-winning walk-off TD. 326 passing yards for Daniels in a gutsy win. The kind of shit that will live forever in sports folklore. And it was another biblical savior, Noah Brown with the game-winning catch. He built an ark to save the animals, and once the Bears tried to board, he shot him right in the fucking bear face. He said, "No bears on this ark." God bless Bo Nix, and I salute Commander Daniels. And not just because I'm scared he'll flog me if I don't.
I think I want to flog Nagel.
He's legit the most fun rookie quarterback to watch. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Don't forget to come back tomorrow or Tuesday for Winners and Losers, where we recap all of the amazing games that happened on NFL.